The moment I knew something was wrong wasn't when he lied. It was when he smiled too easily while I cried. Nicholas and I weren't some dating app statistic. We met by accident, literally. An art gallery storage room malfunctioned, locking us inside for 2 hours. I remember sitting cross-legged between crates of sculptures, sharing his protein bar, while he told me about his obsession with Caravaggio and childhood parrot named Socks. When we finally got out, he looked at me like I was fate and said, "Maybe getting trapped was the best thing that's ever happened to me." I believed him. We moved fast. Within a year, we were married in a quiet ceremony by the lake. No drama, just family, a few close friends, and a dog that crashed our photos. People said we looked like something out of a movie, the artsy girl and the finance guy, opposites in the perfect way. I decorated our little house like a Pinterest board. He installed solar panels. We had this rhythm, like we knew each other's thoughts without speaking. Nicholas always made my birthday feel like magic. Last year, he blindfolded me and drove 4 hours to a cabin he'd secretly rented in the mountains. He'd filled it with my favorite candles, a playlist of songs we used to dance to, and a handwritten letter I still keep in my drawer. It felt like love. Real, grounded, deep love. But 3 weeks before my birthday this year, he sat me down with this fake guilty look and said, "Babe, I'm so sorry. There's a mandatory work retreat that weekend." I remember blinking, thinking he must be joking. My birthday had never been just a day to him. It was our thing. I asked if he could switch shifts or talk to his boss. He shook his head and said, "I tried, but it's out of my hands." Then he kissed my forehead like I was a child. I told myself it was fine, that we'd celebrate later, that life happens, and sometimes timing sucks. He promised we'd do a mini vacation when he got back, somewhere warm, maybe Mexico. "We'll make up for it," he said. "I hate this more than you do." He was so convincing. I felt guilty for even questioning him. God, I was so naive. The night before he left, he packed everything like a pro. Polos, slacks, the cheesy team-building shirt his company made them wear. He even let me fold his socks. "You're the best wife," he said, handing me a tiny box with silver earrings. "I'll make this up to you." He kissed me like he meant it. Then he left, and I stayed, alone, on my birthday, watching the door, wondering why my chest felt like it was caving in. I spent my birthday in silence. No candles, no cake, just a lukewarm bowl of takeout and an episode of some forgettable drama I barely remember. I kept refreshing my phone, hoping he'd call or text something sweet. All I got was a generic, happy, "Birthday babe," at 7:04 p.m. That was it. No FaceTime, no voice note, just a dry message like I was one of his coworkers. I told my mom he was on a retreat when she called. She paused for a second too long and then said, "That's odd. He didn't mention that when I saw him last week," but she didn't press. I brushed it off, too embarrassed to dig into it. Somewhere deep down, I knew, but I wasn't ready to say it out loud. Monday came. Nicholas walked in like nothing happened. He tossed a fancy little bag on the counter, chocolates and a tiny wine bottle from the resort. "It was boring," he said, stretching like he was exhausted. "Meetings all day, but I thought of you the whole time." I nodded, kissed his cheek and smiled. My stomach twisted. His lies smelled like spa soap. It all started unraveling 2 days later when Kayla texted me out of nowhere. We weren't close. Casual friends, really. But her message was weird. "Hey, are you alone? Call me." My fingers trembled as I dialed. She picked up immediately, voice shaky. "Is Nicholas home?" I said no. Silence. Then she dropped. She'd seen an Instagram story, someone at a luxury spa, just a chill pool video. But in the background, clear as day, was Nicholas and Tina, my sister, my blood. She was wearing the earrings I gave her last Christmas. His arm was around her. He rubbed her back. They were laughing, smiling, like they were the only 2 people on Earth, like I didn't exist. I played that 10-second story 100 times. My hands shook so badly I almost dropped my phone. That was my birthday weekend. My husband, my sister, together, at a spa, not even trying to hide. The betrayal sat like poison in my throat. I checked our joint account, $1,200 gone. Nothing labeled, nothing suspicious, just miscellaneous. I remembered my birthday cash from Grandma, $800 she gives me every year. I hadn't deposited it yet. I ran to my wallet. Gone. I called the spa, pretending I needed a receipt. The woman was helpful, too helpful. Reservation under Nicholas's name, romantic weekend package, paid $800 cash, $150 credit card. My money, my weekend, my husband, my sister, my fucking birthday. I couldn't breathe. I sat on the floor of our bedroom, holding the phone in one hand and the earrings he gave me in the other. All I could think was, he stole my birthday to give it to her. When Nicholas walked through the door that evening, I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just waited. He threw his keys on the table like nothing was wrong, humming to himself. I asked him how the retreat was. He said it was productive, but exhausting. He kissed my forehead. My skin crawled. I told him we needed to talk. I sat him down on the couch and showed him the video. No words, just the screen in his face. His eyes flicked over it and froze. He went pale, then flushed red. His mouth opened, but no sound came out. "It's not what it looks like," he said finally. Classic, predictable, useless. I pulled up the spa receipt, read every word out loud. Then I asked the question that made him flinch. "Where's my birthday money, Nicholas?" His face changed. Hard, cold, like I didn't recognize him anymore. "So, what if I used it?" he said. "You weren't doing anything with it. At least Tina appreciates real gestures." My heart cracked open. He didn't even try to deny it. He admitted everything. The affair, the money, the weekend. I stood up. I needed air. He laughed. While I stood there, broken and shaking, he actually laughed and said, "You never deserved a gift anyway," then added, "At least Tina knows how to keep a man happy." That's when I stopped feeling hurt and started feeling done. I walked to our bedroom and closed the door behind me. I didn't cry. Not yet. I heard him pacing the hallway, calling Tina, whispering urgently, maybe warning her I knew. I didn't care. I was watching something in me shut off. A switch flipped. This wasn't heartbreak anymore. This was clarity. He tried knocking. I didn't answer. He left a glass of water outside the door. I didn't touch it. The next morning, he acted like we just had a bad night. He made eggs, asked if I wanted coffee. I didn't even look at him. He got irritated, muttering, "You're being dramatic." Dramatic? I wanted to scream, but instead I just turned away. He left for work, slammed the door harder than usual. I stayed curled on the edge of the bed, still wearing yesterday's clothes, blinking at nothing. That was the moment I knew. I'm not his clown. I'm not going to perform pain so he can feel powerful. I chose silence, and in that silence, I chose peace. The silence became my armor. He hated it. Every time he tried to talk, explain, defend himself, I'd walk away. No yelling, no begging, just ice. He started pacing more, slamming doors, whispering on the phone at night, but I never asked who he was talking to. I didn't care anymore. Something inside me had shifted. A few days later, Tina texted. Her message was pathetic. "I'm sorry. It just happened." I laughed, out loud. "It just happened? Like she tripped and fell into my marriage?" I didn't respond. I forwarded the message to my mom with one sentence. "Ask Tina what this is about." Then I put my phone on silent and let the storm begin without me. My mom called in tears. My dad was silent. Tina confessed everything to them. My brother Robert went ballistic. She tried to spin it like a tragic love story. We didn't mean to hurt anyone. We caught feelings, like they were the victims. No one bought it. My parents were heartbroken, not just at what she did, but at who she had become. I still hadn't cried, not really. But when my dad called just to ask, "Are you safe?" his voice cracked, and that broke me. I dropped the phone and sobbed into a towel until I couldn't breathe. I hated that he was hurting too. I hated that they had to watch their daughters fall apart like this. That same night, I checked our finances. I wasn't looking for trouble, but I needed answers. And what I found nearly made me vomit. There were more spa charges, restaurant, bills I'd never seen, Airbnbs in towns he never said he traveled to, a necklace he bought days before Tina's birthday. He wasn't sorry. He was strategic. I confronted him the next morning, shaking with rage. He said I was too controlling with money, that he needed freedom. I asked if freedom meant opening 3 secret credit cards. He went silent, then said I was acting crazy. I threw his Darth Vader mug at the wall. It shattered. He screamed. I walked out. I booked a consult with a divorce lawyer the next day. She was calm, kind, and laser-focused. She gave me a list, documents to gather, accounts to freeze, steps to protect myself. It was overwhelming, but it felt like movement, like I wasn't drowning anymore, like I was building something. I also got tested for STIs. Everything came back negative, thank God. But sitting in that waiting room, explaining why I was there, was humiliating. I felt like trash, like someone who'd been used and thrown away. Nicholas started love bombing after that. Flowers. Apologies. Let's go to therapy. I didn't say a word. He switched gears fast, from desperate to cold. One night, I came home early and heard him on the phone. "Just give her space. I'm handling it. Once this blows over," he didn't even hear me walk in. I grabbed my water bottle and left without saying a word. I called my cousin Jason that night. He owns a rental property, a small house he's renovating. I didn't even finish the story before he said, "It's yours if you want it. Pay what you can. No pressure." I cried, but this time, it wasn't from heartbreak. It was relief. A door opened. I had a way out. From that point on, I moved in silence. While Nicholas was at work, I packed the essentials, documents, clothes, my grandma's locket, our wedding photo just so I could burn it later. I didn't take furniture. I didn't take memories. I took only what belonged to me. He wouldn't notice until it was too late. I opened a new bank account, new passwords. I transferred my half of the joint account the second the refund hit from the watch he ordered. Yeah, he spent $2,100 on a luxury watch during all this. Said it was for work appearances. I returned it behind his back and moved the refund. It was petty. It was smart. The night before he left for an actual work conference, I watched him pack. He looked so normal, so unaware. That was the last time we shared a roof. I waited until he was 200 miles away before doing my final sweep of the house. I left the divorce papers on the kitchen table. On top, a note. You were right. I don't know how to keep a man happy, but apparently neither does my sister. I left my wedding ring and house key next to it. Then I walked out. No tears, no drama, just freedom. I turned my phone off that night. I didn't want the explosion to reach me. When I turned it back on the next morning, there were 27 missed calls, 12 from him, 5 from Tina, my mom, my brother. His voicemails ranged from confused to furious to desperate. We can work this out. I'm sorry. Please come back. Tina texted too. Said Nicholas was pulling away. Said our parents were ignoring her. Said she felt used. The audacity. She wanted sympathy. After everything she did. I didn't reply. I screenshot her message and sent it to Nicholas. Then I screenshot his response. It was just physical. I never loved her. And sent it to her. Let them eat each other. Alive. A week later, I was served with his official response to the divorce petition. He was contesting everything. Property division, grounds for divorce, even claiming I'd abandoned the home. My lawyer wasn't fazed. Negotiation tactic, she said, but I documented everything. Screenshots, receipts, voice notes, photos, and I was just getting started. 2 weeks after I left, I met with my parents. They looked like they hadn't slept in days. My mom hugged me like I was 5 again. My dad didn't say much, just held my hand for a long time. They'd spoken to Tina. She was staying with Robert temporarily, but it wasn't going well. Apparently, she kept insisting that she and Nicholas were real, like love was an excuse for betrayal. Robert's wife wanted her out. She said Tina walked around like she was the victim, whining about how everyone's against her, while refusing to even apologize properly. She never once said, "I'm sorry I hurt my sister." Just excuses, tears, and fake confusion. My parents were crushed. My mom cried every time Tina's name came up. My dad, usually calm and neutral, said he'd spoken to a lawyer about removing her from their will. I told him that wasn't necessary. He said, actions have consequences. She betrayed her own family. We raised her better. Meanwhile, I got another shock. Nicholas had withdrawn $7,000 from our joint savings. Luckily, I'd already moved my share to my new bank. But the feeling of violation hit me all over again, like he was trying to punish me. My lawyer moved fast, filed motions to freeze the rest of the joint assets and secured temporary financial orders. He wouldn't bleed me dry. Not this time. 2 days before the court date, Nicholas's lawyer suddenly wanted to negotiate. No court, no fight, just a quiet settlement. He offered to accept my terms, property, accounts, even the furniture, if I agreed to leave adultery out of the official paperwork. I paused. Something didn't feel right. That evening I got a message from Tina, using a friend's number. Nicholas's job found out. He's in trouble. Please don't make things worse. And there it was. His company had a strict conduct policy. If the divorce cited adultery, he could be fired. That's why he panicked. I told my lawyer I'd settle on one condition. Nicholas would cover all legal fees, not just mine. He pushed back. We negotiated, settled on 80% paid by him. I signed. My lawyer smiled. He underestimated you, she said. The next day, I didn't cry, not once. I cooked dinner, watched a stupid sitcom, and went to bed. It was the first time I felt normal again. Later that night, I got 15 missed calls from another unknown number. Tina again. I didn't answer. It was like clockwork. Every time I made peace with silence, they tried to drag me back into their chaos. Tina showed up at my job, waited in the parking lot like some sad rom-com scene, eyes puffy, arms crossed, desperate for a conversation I didn't owe her. I almost walked right past, but she called my name, loud enough that coworkers turned to stare. I froze. She walked toward me fast, spewing this mess of words about Nicholas cutting her off, how she was used and confused, and how our parents hated her now. She said, "I know you hate me, but I never meant to hurt you." That's when I realized she still didn't get it. She wasn't sorry. She was sorry she got caught. I said nothing, just stared. She stepped closer, voice dropping. "You're not the only one who got hurt, you know." I flinched, not because of what she said, but because I didn't feel anything. No pity, no anger, just numbness. I looked her dead in the eyes and said, "Call Robert. I can't help you." She reached for my arm. I pulled away so hard she stumbled back. I drove off, She texted that night from another number. He still loves you. We made a mistake. I took a screenshot, sent it to Nicholas. No comment. An hour later, he replied, "She's lying. I never loved her. It was just physical. Please talk to me." I forwarded that to Tina. I wasn't trying to get revenge. I just wanted them to feel even a sliver of the betrayal I carried in my body. Every day. A week later, Nicholas filed a formal response to the divorce. He dropped everything. No more contesting. But wanted one final request. Keep it quiet. My lawyer said, he's scared. He's protecting something bigger than just his job. 2 days later, I got an email from his company's legal department. They were conducting a review. Nicholas had claimed I was spreading rumors of infidelity at his workplace. They wanted to fact-check some things. I stood frozen in the cereal aisle of a grocery store, reading it 5 times in a row. My lawyer and I crafted a careful response, confirmed the divorce was due to infidelity, attached proof, kept it clean, professional, but sharp enough to cut. An hour later, we got an auto reply from the firm's legal team. Now we wait. It was like clockwork. Every time I made peace with silence, they tried to drag me back into their chaos. Tina showed up at my job, waited in the parking lot like some sad rom-com scene. Eyes puffy, arms crossed, desperate for a conversation I didn't owe her. I almost walked right past, but she called my name, loud enough that coworkers turned to stare. I froze. She walked toward me fast, spewing this mess of words about Nicholas cutting her off, how she was used and confused, and how our parents hated her now. She said, "I know you hate me, but I never meant to hurt you." That's when I realized she still didn't get it. She wasn't sorry. She was sorry she got caught. I said nothing, just stared. She stepped closer, voice dropping. "You're not the only one who got hurt, you know." I flinched, not because of what she said, but because I didn't feel anything. No pity, no anger, just numbness. I looked her dead in the eyes and said, "Call Robert. I can't help you." She reached for my arm. I pulled away so hard she stumbled back. I drove off. She texted that night from another number. "He still loves you. We made a mistake." I took a screenshot, sent it to Nicholas. No comment. An hour later, he replied, "She's lying. I never loved her. It was just physical. Please talk to me." I forwarded that to Tina. I wasn't trying to get revenge. I just wanted them to feel even a sliver of the betrayal I carried in my body. Every day. A week later, Nicholas filed a formal response to the divorce. He dropped everything. No more contesting, but wanted one final request. Keep it quiet. My lawyer said, he's scared. He's protecting something bigger than just his job. 2 days later, I got an email from his company's legal department. They were conducting a review. Nicholas had claimed I was spreading rumors of infidelity at his workplace. They wanted to fact-check some things. I stood frozen in the cereal aisle of a grocery store, reading it 5 times in a row. My lawyer and I crafted a careful response, confirmed the divorce was due to infidelity, attached proof, kept it clean, professional, but sharp enough to cut. An hour later, we got an auto reply from the firm's legal team. Now we wait.